This is Terry Kurtz Online reporting on Victor Valley, High Desert, and Mojave River Valley events, activities, entertainment, sports, and history. The Operation Consequences crackdown and lockup of felons and seizures of firearms continue mounting up in Victor Valley towns and cities. In the last week alone, investigators made 19 felony arrests and seized 12 more firearms, along with nearly 2 pounds of narcotics. These latest raids focused on Victorville neighborhoods, including Mimosa Road, Bluffside Lane, Mojave Lane, Cahill Road, Tawny Ridge Lane, Green Hill Drive, La Paz Drive, Meseta Road, and Casota Court and Saratoga Road blocks in Apple Valley. The week prior, raids focusing on Adelanto resulted in the seizure of large amounts of methamphetamine and cocaine, as well as 53 firearms. 12 felons were apprehended. Those figures bring the tally of guns taken off the street to nearly 400 and 338 felony arrests since Consequences was launched in February. Operation Consequences conducts crime suppression operations throughout the high desert and in the sheriff's jurisdiction surrounding the city of San Bernardino. Operations include parole and probation checks. There are currently 6,568 parolees at large in California. 534 of those parolees are at large in San Bernardino County. These 2 residents of Phelan have been arrested on multiple charges, including child sexual abuse and human trafficking. Rigoberto Hernandez Latin, aged 44, and Maria Hernandez, aged 33, were arrested on charges that include human trafficking, sexual assault, and lewd acts with a child under 14 with force, and false imprisonment. Detectives believe there may be additional victims and are releasing these photographs of the suspects. Anyone with information regarding this arrest is encouraged to contact Detective Wendy Winiger of the Specialized Investigations Division Crimes Against Children detail at 909-890-4904. Callers wishing to remain anonymous may call the We Tip hotline at 1-800-78-CRIME. In a related development, the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department is spreading the word about the dangers of human trafficking in our region with a teen human trafficking awareness talk for parents and their children on 2 Saturdays, October 14th and the 21st. The events will take place at Sheriff's Headquarters in San Bernardino. It is rattlesnake season in the high desert. Rattlesnakes give birth August to September. To the young, they can be more dangerous because their rattles have not developed yet, but they are just as venomous as adult rattlesnakes. Here are some helpful tips on staying safe on the trails or in your yard. Wear appropriate over-the-ankle hiking boots, thick socks, and loose-fitting long pants. Never go barefoot or wear sandals when walking through off-road areas. Avoid tall grass, weeds, rocks, and heavy underbrush where rattlesnakes like to hide during the day. Watch where you step and do not put your foot in or near a crevice where you cannot see. If a fallen tree or large rock is in your path, step up on it instead of over it. Check out stumps or logs before sitting down. Do not turn over rocks or logs. If you must move a rock or log, use gloves and roll it toward you, giving anything beneath it the opportunity to escape in the opposite direction. Never grab sticks or branches while swimming in lakes and rivers. Rattlesnakes can swim. Avoid approaching any snake you cannot positively identify as a safe species. Our Mojave green rattlers are said to have the deadliest venom of any viper. If you hear the warning rattle, move away from the area and do not make sudden or threatening movements in the direction of the rattlesnake. Remember, rattlesnakes do not always rattle before they strike. Do not handle a freshly killed rattlesnake. It can still inject venom. If bit, Apply a bandage and keep calm, and as still as possible. Do not cut the wound open. Do not apply a tourniquet. Don't apply ice. Don't drink alcohol or caffeine. They speed up absorption of the venom into your bloodstream. Do not elevate the bitten area above the level of your heart. Expect swelling, nausea, and possible effects of shock. Immobilize the limb. If alone and in a remote area with no cell phone reception, make your way slowly to where medical help can be contacted or you can receive attention and assistance. You should try to be receiving medical treatment within a half hour of being bitten. In sports, DeLon Williams breaks through Adelanto defenders for a pair of second-quarter touchdowns en route to Hesperia's 27-0 homecoming victory over the Saints. Coach Casey Goodnow calls on his assortment of welterweight, bantamweight, and featherweight skill position players to strike where Saints All-League defensive standout Shakir Collins isn't. DeLon Williams, the 5'5", 145-pound sophomore welterweight, scores from 5 yards out. The second DeLon Williams score is the 16-yard touchdown with time running out just before halftime. DeLon Williams rushed for 140 yards a week before against Barstow. Aiden Nolan will score the Scorpions' second half touchdown this game in the fourth quarter. The game opens with Adelanto's defense effectively thwarting the Scorpions' offense. Shakir Collins was the dominator in the early going, registering a sack, a tackle for a loss, and another tackle for a loss in the Scorpions' opening possession. This solo tackle for a loss on 4th and short at midfield allowed the Saints to take over on downs. Shakir Collins is 6'2", 235. A senior returning all Desert Sky League standout. Hesperia's plan of attack had shifted to an aerial assault. On their second possession, Anthony Lopez pitches to Robert Sutton, who takes a licking and keeps on ticking, carrying tackles with him for a gain of 14. Back to Robert Sutton. The other way, this 12-yard gain gives the Scorpions first and goal at the 10. Robert Sutton is listed at 5'8", 120 pounds. That had put him in the featherweight division in boxing, karate, and martial arts. The very large offensive line gives Anthony Lopez time to check off on his receivers, connecting with wide receiver Blake Charters, cutting back over the middle. Blake Charters, another of the welterweight skill position players, is listed at 5'8", 135, actually the maximum weight for a bantamweight. Hesperia's first touchdown comes on a play out of the NFL refrigerator playbook. Jaden Jernigan, 78, takes the handoff and steamrolls into the end zone. This is what Adelanto's nose guard, Tajai Epps, sees coming at him. Tajai Epps is a 265-pound sophomore. 70 is 318 pounds Scorpions center Cody LaCroix. The Scorpions guards are 260-pound Gavin Stoltz, 71, and 280-pound Anthony Ruiz, 55. Jaden Jernigan is a 285-pound senior. The Scorpions' defensive leaders in the shutout include Anthony Ruiz, 55, making this tackle for no gain, a Scorpions team captain and twice All Mojave River League first-team selection. Anthony Ruiz is 6 foot 280. Alex Marino, 42. This solo tackle for a loss. Alex Marino is 5'10", 200 pounds, a senior. He recorded 4 solo tackles in the Scorpions' victory over Barstow the week prior. Gavin Stoltz fights through the block and turns the play inside, where Alex Marino, Angel Taylor, 34, and company demonstrate team tackling at its finest. 27 is Alejandro Pena. Anthony Ruiz sacks the quarterback. The ball goes flying. Kali Ratliff, 51, recovers. Kali Ratliff is 6'1", 255, a junior. This play sets up the Scorpions' scoring drive just before halftime. Jacob Henry closes out the first half with a carbon copy blindside bone-crushing sack that creates the fumble recovered by Anthony Topete. Hesperia is back home next week, hosting yet another Desert Sky League team, Granite Hills. Adelanto goes to Diamond Ranch next. Oak Hills gets 3 touchdowns from Carson Cox, including a school record 99-yarder. Diego Lopez throws TD passes to Shaylin Young and Carson Cox, and Robert Metzger's Bulldogs move to 2-0 with the 28-7 home field win against Highland. They are back at it Thursday, hosting Palmdale. Apple Valley falls at Chaparral 28-24. Noah Seeley TD passes to Dominic Bechtel and Jacob Wilkerson, Aiden Sanchez rushing touchdown, and Kyler Peters field goal account for the Sun Devils' points. Cameron Smith scores 4 first-half touchdowns, and Granite Hills rolls to a 40-14 victory over Carter. The Granite Hills win and Silverado loss were Thursday. Victor Valley sophomore quarterback Robert Middlebrooks throws 3 TD passes, and Robert Kistner's Jackrabbits open the season with back-to-back victories. Barstow shuts out Lancaster as Clay Lillamena's Aztecs even their record at 1-1. TC Cleveland's Sultans suffer a 35-22 setback at Liberty. The Sultans get 3 rushing touchdowns from LeMason Waller, who was forced into action at quarterback when Jacob Higgs left the game injured in the first quarter. Serrano gets touchdowns from Cade Lefevre and Carlos Amployo as Casey Mahalchek's Diamondbacks win 12-10 at Patriot. Burroughs lost to Quartz Hill 21-6. Hesperia Christian's 1-point season-opening loss is at Mammoth. Terry Kurtz Online was brought to you by Down Home Grill in Victorville on the corner of Bear Valley Road and Ridgecrest Road. So. Bid fast and last. World-class auctioneers. Solid quality truck body, family owned and operated since 1954. The Bradco Companies, our area's longest standing full service commercial brokerage firm. Iwanzak Law Firm, trial lawyers for serious problems. We Got 'em Tees, your headquarters for custom screen printing and mastercraft embroidery design. Silverwood, the developers of the Silverwood Master Planned Community, support the events, youth activities, and programs of our high desert Mojave River Valley communities. And by the Holiday Inn in Victorville. The Holiday Inn, conference and convention center for the high desert, and destination of choice of visitors and travelers to the Victor Valley.
Museums revive relics and histories of days long past to futuristic adventures bringing science alive. The Big Bear Museum takes us through the romantic and often exciting history of this community. Displays and exhibits reflect the importance and impact of mining in the Holcomb Valley with artifacts and a rare stamp mill. There's a furnished, authentic 1875 log cabin. Cattle ranching and lumbering were other vital occupations at the 7,000-foot level of the San Bernardino Mountains. There's ample machinery, antique glassware, historic photographs, memorabilia, in this picturesque community where it often seems time stands still. The Big Bear Museum is open throughout the summer, from Memorial Day weekend to the second Sunday in October. Open weekends, Monday holidays, and Wednesdays. A cautious cougar keeps a close eye on who comes and goes, and no Big Bear Museum would be complete without a bear. We encroach upon those of you who squirm at the sight of a cockroach to segue from history to futuristic displays at the California Science Center. The mission of this 252,000 square foot facility is to stimulate and nurture an interest in math, science, and technology. Exhibits include some live inhabitants. In the world of life, learn how a bat navigates through the sounds of its audiosensory perception. Many exhibits provide interactive entertainment for youngsters, including the Solar Light Cars demonstration. There are opportunities for the youngest visitors to take delight in construction projects, while others participate in a video version of volleyball or soccer. Exhibits are elegant in design, avant-garde in presentation. Featured attractions are showcased periodically. On this occasion, the Titanic. All realms of science are explored, from the wheel to behind the wheel to the effects of flight in space. The California Science Center and its Air and Space Gallery are open every day except Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's Day. It's 3 stories tall, can accommodate up to 4,000 visitors at one time. The 5,000-pound hyperbolic paraboloid is an amazing kinetic sculpture. If a museum is to your choosing but you don't care to leave the local area, there's the Victor Valley Museum. Featured are indigenous creatures of the high desert, alongside Native American artifacts, and many a fact-filled exhibit depicting life in the Victor Valley a century past. The Victor Valley Museum and Art Gallery on Apple Valley Road off Bear Valley Road is open Wednesday through Saturday 10 until 4, Sundays noon until 4. The historic Route 66 Museum in Old Town Victorville attracts visitors from around the world who find Mother Road memorabilia.
San Bernardino County 1st District Supervisor Paul Cook has openly expressed his dissatisfaction with the recently passed Western Joshua Tree Conservation Act because of the extremely detrimental impact it will have on many high desert and Mojave River Valley residents, business owners, and agencies. A statement from the 1st District Supervisor's office reads, San Bernardino County greatly values the Western Joshua Tree as an iconic symbol of the Mojave Desert and actively supports efforts to protect and preserve the species. However, this legislation fails to properly balance protection of the species with the needs of our residents and business community, thereby threatening the quality of life in our deserts. The county had hoped to support the bill and offered amendments that would strike the vital balance between protecting the Western Joshua Tree and preserving a reasonable quality of life for San Bernardino County residents today and into the future. Some amendments were accepted, but most amendments were not included. Mitigation fees were slightly lowered, but the bill still imposes very high costs on residents, businesses, and local agencies. This will discourage the building of much-needed homes, stifle economic investment, increase development costs in the region, and significantly harm the county's Mojave Desert communities and residents. The county will continue to advocate with the California Department of Fish and Wildlife to ensure that Western Joshua Tree take permits are processed and reviewed expeditiously by Sacramento. The county will also continue its long-standing protection of Joshua trees through the County Development Code. If your vehicle has suffered damage caused by potholes on a California freeway, Caltrans is offering up to $10,000 reimbursement for damages. Motorists who believe their vehicle damage was caused by a pothole which existed due to the fault of Caltrans can file a claim for reimbursement directly with Caltrans, seeking $10,000 or less in reimbursement. San Bernardino County residents need to submit the claim form as well as supporting documentation to Caltrans District 8. No filing fee is required for claims seeking $10,000 or less from Caltrans. Caltrans District 8 is located at 464 West 4th Street, MS 1244, San Bernardino, 92401. Motorists reimbursed by their insurance company may not be eligible for compensation. Only the registered owner may file a claim for damage to a vehicle or property. For more information, please call 909 383 4351. San Bernardino County programs offer assistance in efforts to beat the summer heat, especially where senior residents come in. Free fans are available for eligible seniors throughout the county. To see if you qualify, call the Senior Information and Assistance Hotline at 800-510-2020. Victor Valley Community Services Council can also provide fans and, in some instances, portable cooling units to eligible seniors. Call 760-243-9646 between 9 in the morning and 5 in the evening, Monday through Thursdays, for more information. As the heat wave persists, residents young and old are reminded to avoid vigorous outdoor activities, drink plenty of fluids, and check on vulnerable neighbors who may not have air conditioning, and never leave children or pets unattended in a vehicle for any amount of time. Did you know that most of our San Bernardino County library branches welcome the public as a safe place to beat the heat? Adelanto Library is open Mondays through Thursdays and Saturdays. Apple Valley's Newton T. Bass Library, Wednesdays through Sundays. Hesperia Library is open 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. Equally cool, San Bernardino County Museums, and the county is proud to announce the museums have been honored a 5th straight year with awards of excellence from the National Association of Counties Achievement Awards program. The Victor Valley Museum in Apple Valley received 2 awards in the Arts, Culture, and Historic Preservation category for the initiatives Responding to COVID Through a Digital Ecosystem and Mining the Museum for Small Solutions to Big Problems. Responding to COVID Through a Digital Ecosystem speaks to the development of a robust repository of born digital content for the public to access from the comfort of their homes, especially those residents living in vulnerable or low-income communities. San Bernardino County Museum Connect is an at-home learning digital ecosystem housed in the newly redesigned SBCM website, which provides access to digital exhibits, curator blogs, digital tours, story maps, social media, collections, records, photographs, and videos. It is designed as a one-stop shop for all things digital and related to the San Bernardino County Museum. Mining the museum for a small solution to big problems is a popular and modern method to curate an exhibition in which an outside curator or artist receives access to a museum's collection to find consistent themes or objects to highlight in a new way. The museum in Redlands received an award for celebrating and teaching the digging sciences. This involves a multidisciplinary event in which participants are educated on and engage in simulated archaeological and paleontological fieldwork. Participants learn about how to responsibly get involved in fieldwork, fill out simplified permit applications, excavate objects in a mock dig, and submit their finds to a repository for curation. The Bureau of Land Management has elevated its seasonal fire restrictions on all BLM public lands managed by the California Desert District. The elevated restrictions address the use of campfires, controlled flame devices, target shooting, and smoking on public lands. The order prohibits recreational target shooting. However, these restrictions do not impact hunting. These proactive fire restrictions are in place to protect visitors, communities, adjacent private lands, and natural resources from the risk of wildfire. These restrictions will remain in effect until October unless terminated sooner if conditions warrant. The Bureau of Land Management has awarded 2 grants totaling almost $5 million to accelerate the training and placement of excess wild horses and burros into private care. These grants are part of the BLM's efforts to encourage more adopters to give a wild horse or burro a good home. The Adoption Incentive Program provides up to $1,000 to adopt an untrained wild horse or burro from the BLM. The goal of the program is to reduce BLM's recurring costs to care for unadopted and untrained wild horses and burros, while helping to enable the BLM to confront a growing overpopulation of wild horses and burros on fragile public rangelands. Thanks to its Adoption Incentive Program and the online corral, the BLM has doubled the rate of private care placement over the last 5 years. Supervisor Paul Cook's office wants to inform you that vouchers are now available to have dogs or cats spayed or neutered. Residents with dogs or cats in San Bernardino County's unincorporated communities can request a voucher for $50 towards spaying and neutering. To request a voucher, call the Pet Overpopulation Coalition at 888-767-2550 or email the address shown. San Bernardino County state-of-the-art high desert behavioral health clinic has opened on Highway 18 in Apple Valley. This 28,000 square foot mental health facility offers counseling, outpatient services, and a 24-hour crises hotline for the high desert community. It will also serve as the high desert headquarters for the county's Department of Behavioral Health. The county's Liaison Education and Risk Network class, LEARN, is being offered to educate food operators on food safety. LEARN is a free training class based on the fundamentals of active managerial control and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's risk factors that lead to foodborne illnesses. The class is designed to educate operators on food safety, teach practices and procedures that will reduce foodborne illnesses, and provide a forum to network about various food safety topics. People who benefit include anyone who prepares or serves or handles food and can promote change in the facility to ensure safe food is served. All classes are free. Classes will be held monthly, and space is limited. Visit this website to view class dates and RSVP. San Bernardino County birth and death certificates are now available online. San Bernardino County's Vital Statistics Registration Office has launched a new service that allows residents to purchase certified copies of birth and death certificates online. Currently, the service is available for births and deaths that occurred in the past 2 years. Records for events older than 2 years can be obtained at San Bernardino County Hall of Records. The Victor Valley Community Services Council is offering free homemaker services, transportation, and activities for seniors ages 60 and older with mobility challenges. Residents can join the group in its monthly shopping trips where they pick you up, take you home, and assist with lifting and carrying items. For more information or to reserve your seat on the bus, call 760-243-9646. Terry Kurtz Online was brought to you by Down Home Grill in Victorville on the corner of Bear Valley Road and Ridgecrest Road.
So.
Bid fast and last. World-class auctioneers. Valu Quality Truck Body, family-owned and operated since 1954. The Bradco Companies, our area's longest-standing full-service commercial brokerage firm. Iwanzak Law Firm, trial lawyers for serious problems. We Got 'em Tees, your headquarters for custom screen printing and mastercraft embroidery design. Silverwood, the developers of the Silverwood Master Plan community, support the events, youth activities, and programs of our high desert Mojave River Valley communities. and by the Holiday Inn in Victorville. The Holiday Inn, conference and convention center for the high desert and destination of choice of visitors and travelers to the Victor Valley. That's a wrap on this edition of Terry Kurtz Online. On behalf of Victor Valley Television Productions, thank you for watching. We hope to see you again next time around.